called me Buttercup.
I sure did call Buttercup. We're gonna say that over the music. I have no idea how we haven't got like copyright struck on that. So that's so on point. Because it's so like I have no idea how we haven't like gotten a copyright strike.
I mean, who's? I mean, like, wouldn't this have to get on some type of mainstream platform before they would even attack us?
No, YouTube doesn't matter. Like I got a strike because I did the whole like George Michael careless whisper thing for 5 seconds, like the little like.
Oh, so YouTube will notify you immediately, like, "Hey, you're in thin ice right here now."
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know they was that.
Yeah. YouTube are a bunch of Nazis. So,
right.
Yeah, let's not go down that road because last time I talked shit about YouTube, things happened. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody to week 8.
Week 8.
Yeah.
It seemed like we were just giddy schoolgirls.
Yeah.
Right after the draft, like 2 weeks ago.
But it's getting to that point where it's sad though.
Because it's like you've turned the corner on the halfway point, and not only have you reached the halfway point of the season, you're reaching the halfway point of it being done. And it's like, oh man. Like like that commercial that's out there, like I guess he'd be saying bet or something. He was like, in a cold night in Buffalo. Like not a cold night at the stadium. A cold night in Buffalo is just a cold night in Buffalo. So it's like,
right, yeah.
Man. Just think, in a few weeks, almost a month, couple months, Sunday ain't gonna mean shit again.
Right. Once Christmas hits, it's like, oh well, the rest of my year's fucked now. Cool.
Yeah, it's over. I mean, the fantasy is usually over at Christmas, and then the rest of the real season, you watch, but you don't watch as hard because you don't got no skin in the game, and it's like But you just want to stay. You want to stay up on who's moving on and all of that. But I don't. Those playoff games, I don't. I used to be like front and center, watch every minute, we whine and all. Now, especially that first wild card weekend, it's like, okay, I glance in here and there. Give me a score update. I don't really.
Yeah.
Like once the home team ain't in it, I mean, I'm good with the highlights. Like you can give me some good extensive highlights. That way I don't miss all the key plays. And usually they run them to you over and over and over and over that week because that's the only games they can show you. So you don't miss out on anything.
I mean, we said it before. I mean, the biggest reason we did fantasy.
I just got that damn link just now. It's sent again.
Oh, that's funny. The biggest reason we started fantasy is because it's like, all right, we need something else to do when the Steelers lose. So then you add to that caveat of, in the playoffs, if the home team ain't in it, you're so used to having, okay, cool. What's my wideout? Oh, wait, I don't have a wideout going because the fantasy season is done. So it's real hard to get into it.
My first experience with it when I was working at this law firm, and this one guy, like, it was like these young paralegals, and they was like, yeah, man, fantasy football. And I was just like, yeah, I heard of it, but I don't really know what it is. And it was like, hey, man, here, $20, join our league. And then, like, they had the draft, and they kind of gave me the 101 on it. And I was just like, wow, this actually helps me alleviate the pain and the waiting of the Steelers. And yeah. I fell in love with it immediately. It forced me to be. I mean, I was already well encompassed into the NFL because this is just my favorite sport. But it like really made me like. And when I first played with these guys, they had individual defensive players. So I got into it.
I've played a league like that. I remember my defensive player was Donkey Kong Sue, and it's when he was literally stomping people. So
See, mine was so far back. You remember Brian Dawkins from the Eagles?
Of course.
Yeah, I had him, and I was in
Oof.
love. Like that was a while back. Yeah, I loved that dude. Yeah, that was a while back, man. I'm talking like had to be like 2003, four. Playing
Yeah.
for a while, man. Yeah, but welcome to week 8, everybody. Football.
I'm ill.
Yeah, he's ill. Let's just get Dave Chappelle right out the gate. It's a celebration, bitches.
Yeah, he's finally back.
I finally fucking won and broke my loser streak. It's a celebration.
And I texted you last night. I was like, "Wait, was I your last win?"
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I was.
I didn't respond to it because I was still in mid game of motherfucking shut the fuck up until this shit is over with.
Yeah.
Because if I just responded to you, I'd have got jinxed. Because I mean, you know how fast a quarterback can put up points in our league, and one big touchdown, and he's got 20 points like that. So I was just like, ooh.
I won my week with like 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and then Addison went ham. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Who did you have?
Addison and Ayuk.
Ayuk. Yeah, you got a couple deep passes to Ayuk, but then he calmed down.
Yeah.
And then you got a couple little bubbles to Addison, and then next thing you know, Addison went ham sandwich.
Yeah. That was a crazy run. That was a crazy
That's how you win a fucking week. And I'm like, okay, you happy? I need to feel some happiness. And I had to hold on. I had to sweat the whole thing up.
Well, because you had Jennings, but you were going against Purdy. So
yeah, I had Jennings, but then I had Hawkinson, and Hawkinson was killing it. If I didn't have Hawkinson, I would have lost that game. Yeah. Because I only won by 20.
Yeah.
And 20 in our league is
right. Let's put some premise behind that, because that's like 20. Oh my god, it's like, motherfucker, that's like a pass.
Yeah, that's one touchdown, a deep one. Any pass over 50 yards, touchdown. That's about 15 to 19 points.
Yeah.
Just to give y'all some idea, Patrick Mahomes had a very productive week.
Sure
this dude drops me 91. 96. I've never seen any player.
I think it was 96, wasn't it?
91.
Oh, 91. Still, fuck, who cares?
I ain't never seen a quarterback drop 91. I was
yeah, no. Last year, Allen dropped me like $102.
$102 in 1 week.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Yeah, I was just like, I mean, if there was somebody carrying this dude, he had the rowboat, he carried the whole squad. But at the same time, just like I told you last time,
Devontae
Foreman. Now, but like I told you last time, I can't continue to have just Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta in my movie. I need another supporting cast. And this time, they actually brought in Uma Thurman or some shit. So now I had three actors that could somehow contribute to a good movie, because I kept having, Intuit perform. I told you the Eagles was going to do that. I told on a podcast right before this, I said, hey, the Eagles are going to expose the Dolphins. Don't believe the hype, like they're just going to, stick with them. I knew they weren't. I mean, that defense is what two differences between the Dolphins and the Eagles is they both got high flying offenses, but the difference is the Dolphins defense is okay. The Eagles defense is good. And
then they just traded for that safety. So
yeah, dude. I'm like, why do people let this happen? Now, you know why? Because I sat and watched Tyreek Hill burn the hell out of the sorry ass safety we had, the Terrell Edmonds or whatever.
Woo!
I was like, oh man, he looked terrible. And they sure enough traded him the very next day. Like, get your fucking ass out of here.
We just talk about the dumb shit Tyreek can do. Like he looks like he looks like a Madden player.
It's like it's like once he gets on, I don't know how he acts off the field, but as soon as he's on the field, it's like he's like so filled with energy. Like he's jumping, like even after he catches the pass, he's like handing the ball to the ref, like with all his energy. It's like he is pumped to the
you know what? I think
to the brink with energy.
I think he's a kid that enjoys playing a game. Honestly.
And he's looking around like, y'all gonna pay me for this too? Handsomely?
Handsomely.
And I'll do this for free. But yeah. I mean, because go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say let's touch on last night's game. When we got out, I won, you won. The complexion of the league is much different now.
I'm just so glad I stopped the slide. I mean, it's like getting cut from ear to ear, and I'm just like, and I'm holding on, and the blood squirting out, and they finally stopped the bleeding and get me in kind of a stable condition because I was on my way out. I really was, man. I was like, man, if I lose this game, holy hell.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you're still in it, but it doesn't feel good.
No,
it don't.
Feel good. I mean, I'm above 500, but it's just like next week is another challenge. Like, I mean, I know you after you get done, you're like, who's next? Now, I mean, and that's how I felt last year. I don't feel like that this year. It's like
I was really like that. I
mean, mine is like, all right, who's next? I mean, last year it was like, man, who's next to fucking sit down and get their ass kicked?
I was like, so once Yahoo actually decided to work.
I was like, how y'all gonna wait till the last game, the most impactful game of the week, and then start fucking up the scoring? I was just like, and like you said, I thought it was just my shit. So I'm sitting up there changing my settings from Wi-Fi to phone data, resetting my phone, rebooting it, and it's still the same shit. I'm like, what is going on? But if you go to your individual team, you can see the update. But if
sometimes
you hit a matchup or something, it wasn't working.
Yeah, sometimes it was hit and miss, but yeah, it was a little annoying. We then finally got on there, but yeah, as soon as it allowed me, I was going to in my lineup for next week. I'm like, all right, who wants these hands? Let's go.
Yeah. Who wants these hands? Yeah.
And
that's
next up is Timmy's bitch ass. So I sent him a very vulgar message today, saying that I 1,000,000,000% owe him a nice raping.
Yeah. So, please beat him by as much as you fucking can.
Yeah, I have all.
And then I seen he picked up what's his name? McKinnon. I was like, if that McKinnon dude, if he would have went off this week, I swear I would have snapped. Because I had him all year just as a shits and giggles. And as soon as I dropped him, Timmy picked him up. I was like, oh, he thinking he's going to rekindle that McKinnon magic. And I was this dude has a good productive week. And be pissed.
No, I want him to put him in just for like a flex. Be like, all right, go ahead. Have fun. I'm going to beat you by a hundo. Because look, I'm telling you, man, like there's no bye weeks this week, so it's 100% full blown kind of hey.
I can't believe I somehow put up 260 with half of my squad hurt. So and that Metcalf thing was like a really last minute. I was like, what? I'm in the middle of the 3:00 game. Like, I got to find somebody else. And then that's when I told you Mooney was going to be dropped before that damn game was over. I said, before that 1:00 game is over, if that dude don't produce with that new quarterback, he is going to be dropped. Dude dropped 7 points. I was like, psh. And I picked up Jennings, and it ended up being it was either Jennings or Powell, and I played both of them, and Powell actually outproduced Jennings. So I felt like I was good either way. I mean, as far as scoring just enough.
Yeah.
So, next week we'll see what happens, man. But like I said, I'm just glad to get back in that win column. It's like I started out so high, 3-0, and dropped 3, and then now it's like, hopefully I'm turning. Please.
Yeah.
Please let me turn for the better. But Yeah, man. With all those that goddamn injuries, with the injury to Metcalf, that's where I was going. I thought that was going to pump up Lockett's totals. Your boy JSN was eating off that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, damn. And
Yep.
then Bobo, like, watch a bunch of people pick up this Bobo dude, and
Mm-hmm. Let him.
soon as Metcalf come back,
Uh-huh.
back to milk carton material. um,
Yeah. I
they're
mean,
not.
I'm excited to see them using JSN. I would hope that they continue to do that. They don't need to have it doesn't have to be a two-man show. You know.
I don't know why they just don't. It's like they offense is run first, and it can only support two receivers. It seems like. I mean, like I said, go back to the abusive Doug Baldwin days. It was Doug Baldwin, and I think was Lockett back then, or no?
Uh,
Oh, somebody.
I feel like the beginning of Lockett, yeah, but I
Yeah, like
feel
when
like there
Lockett
was
was real young. Yeah,
no,
and yeah, Metcalf wasn't there yet because they haven't
no,
won the
no,
Super Bowl with Metcalf. But
yeah,
it was like Lockett and uh, Jermaine Curse or something like that.
yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds about right. Yeah,
yeah. When they was winning Super Bowls, it wasn't like a hefty. Doug Baldwin was the number one dude. Yeah.
yikes, fuck that guy.
Um, um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if 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 he gets put in Metcalf's position, he can produce. But if he gets put in that slot, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe they
I'm
should
still,
like flip flop and like let Metcalf run a few insides or something, like see if they can get some more production out of that, because they were always notorious for a good tight end. So well, you don't have a hard time convincing Metcalf he's a tight end. I ain't gonna work. But
I mean, the dude's built like one, so yeah, I mean,
yeah, either that or move Lockett's small ass in that inside and let JSN work on the outside, because he seemed like he's better working on the outside.
I'm still gonna trot him out there and hope for the best. So kind of not super important news, but Zach Ertz IR for a quad. Okay, don't really care.
Yeah.
Jerome Ford busted up his ankle. We're saying a low grade
One or two
high
weeks.
ankle sprain.
And he was doing so well. Man,
So Kareem gets bumped up. Um,
the all time worst drops.
yeah. So does Pierre Strong. So what are your thoughts on Pierre Strong?
I have none. Um,
Okay.
I mean, I understand people are going to try to pick him up because, I mean, it's a 1A, 1B. I mean, Cleveland is always a 1A, 1B type of backfield, but I don't know. Pierre Strong used to be with the Patriots last year, and he just never really showed me any flash. Even after, Ford went down, I think dude had like 6 carries for like 20 yards. I'm like, what is that? So
Yeah.
I'm not really like, if somebody tried to hand him to
I
me, I
mean,
wouldn't have anywhere to put him. I'm mad about Kareem Hunt.
yeah.
That was a dumb move. And I dropped him for Kendre Miller or some shit. Stupid shit. Oh,
I I love the fact that I was able to pick up Daryl Henderson just for nothing and played him, and he was productive.
yeah, he scored a touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and then what's interesting too is I saw they sent him back to the practice squad, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
like,
what do
what
you
was
guys?
that about?
They did the same thing with Julio Jones. I'm like, what are they doing? Is this like a on paper transaction thing
Yeah,
or
it's
what's
almost
up?
like
So
they don't want to cut somebody from the 53,
right,
and then they wait till the Saturday before they play and then bring them up and then let them play and then send them back down. It's like,
yeah,
I don't get it no more. And the
yeah. I
practice
don't
squad, the whole format has changed. Before it used to be like only young players can go to the practice squad, like
right.
free agents or real young play. Like you couldn't be a veteran and go down to the practice squad and come back up. They just changed that like past 2 or 3 years.
And I just thought about it. I'm like, how weird is that? Like, and Julio's just taking it like a champ. Like, oh, I'll go to the practice squad. Okay. It's like,
Because
what?
he ain't shit. Julio's just glad that they signing the check. He probably was like, "Hey man, I ain't completely broke, but I could use a little extra money. And they was like, well, come on in. We'll give you the veteran minimum. He was like, the veteran minimum is sounding damn good right now. And he don't
Yeah.
give up what they do to him and do with him.
Yeah, he's a brittle fella. So
Well, I mean, you walk in the room and you see AJ Brown and Deion, you feel inferior. You're like, all right, y'all got it. I mean, if he was a young Julio, I mean, I'm pretty sure he would be like, motherfucker, I'm running this shit. But you an older
yeah,
dude, you like,
picture him saying that shit to AJ Brown. He'd be like, "I'll eat you, literally, I'll eat you."
I remember what some of the announcers was saying. They was like, this dude looked like an offensive tackle playing fucking receiver.
So fucking big, man.
He's
Like,
juiced, ripped hard, yo. Yeah.
right? Like, good for him. Like, I mean, I mean, good for him. Great for me.
Yes. Yes. I mean, because in my other league, I was sweating on that one too. I fucking made a huge mistake. I kept going back and forth in the morning. Dobbs or Deontay Foreman? Dobbs, Deontay Foreman. Dobbs, Deontay Foreman. I don't know why I said Dobbs.
Oh no.
Yes. And that 33 points was sitting on the bench looking beautiful. I'm like, I'm about to really lose behind that decision. And then dun, 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 here comes
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts and
Yeah.
and AJ Brown, and they put me ahead. And all I needed was Kittle, and it like I was up by like 12 going into the Monday night game, and he had Madison, and I had Kittle.
Oh, that's
And as
easy.
long as Madison didn't score a touchdown, I could skate by. But then when they start finally giving Kittle some passes, I was like, okay, I got this one won. Okay. So the two leagues that matter the most to me, I won in. So this was a great week. The other two leagues, don't give a fuck. One league, I was like $1.50 or $1.40 or something like that. Everybody else was $1.20, $1.30, but the dude I played was $1.85. So once again, 1-6 in that league, lost again. I don't even have the energy to even give a fuck anymore. And then the other league, I was 2-5 in. Well, I'm now 2-5 in, but I was 2-4. And going into the Monday night game, I had Madison, and I was up by 115 to 145. I was up by 30. And I had Madison, and he had Cousins and McCaffrey. And they both ate. And I lost by like, I don't know, 10 points. I was like, I just can't win in their leagues, man. I mean, I just can't wait to tell them. Like, don't even attempt to invite me into y'all shit no more. It's like, it ain't their fault. It's just, I just don't have success in their leagues. I had, out of all my years of playing with them, it's probably been like 5+. I've only had one successful year, and that was last year in Brandon's league. In his brother's league, I've never been successful. I've never made the playoffs. It's just like, I don't understand. And I'm not a terrible fantasy player. I make some rash decisions here and there, but I just don't understand a league, and I'm not going to put myself emotionally through it anymore.
Yeah.
I am not.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't bother with it. I mean, especially since you're not.
And they matter the most. So I'm 4-3 in both of them. No. No, yeah, 4-3 in both of them. Yep. But I feel a little bit better in Andrew's league than yours because I know it's week 8, but I'm still figuring out who's a fix 'em and forget 'em player. That's what I'm still looking for. Put them in and don't even worry about it. Don't even think about it. Matchup proof. Just run them out there again. You know, the only players I can do that with is pretty much my two quarterbacks and Metcalf and everybody else is like, are you Debo? You gonna hurt this week? And who ain't? And that's about it.
I started trying to shop Eckler a little bit.
He just ain't producing the way he supposed to for you, huh? Well, he hasn't. Man. He just, I don't know, man. The Chargers is they are one of those teams that they're a find a way to lose it team instead of a, you got a team like the Niners or they'll find a way to win it. The Chargers will find a way to lose it somehow.
Well,
And
I don't think his ankle's right yet, and what I'm trying to do is ship him out on the name value and get a decent return, and
those are dumb.
honestly try to ship him to someone that I'm not going to have to play again this year because I don't want to do that and then it reverses and someone hits me with the Uno reverse card and it's like
Well, what's the name loves him. Mr. Walk around the corner. Timmy loves Eckler.
Yeah, I offered him up for Chase straight up. No, actually, no. I offered Eckler and Gabe Davis for
two people just for Chase, and he
Chase.
will not budge off of it. I think it's one of those things. If you didn't already get him, you could have got him there. But because he's like, man, I think he got me last time.
He gets you every year. Fuck.
He don't want to get got twice in 1 year.
He don't want to pull a Kemp because I got him twice too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you like he was like he was like, oh come on man, I gave you the best quarterback. I'm like, yeah, I know you offered the trade, goofy. Like he's like, you got to work with me. I'm like, no, I don't.
No, I don't.
No, I don't. Like, but
I mean, what quarterback? Who was he trotting out there? It's like, oh man,
I don't know.
You give up Hurts, man. I don't understand that.
Yeah, for what I don't even remember what I gave him back. Well,
like some running backs or something. Yeah, like I don't know. No, he gave him some receivers like Olave and.
Oh yeah, Olave. Well, here let's kind of do a little teaser here. So next week is going to be kind of like the mid-season review kind of deal where we go
best
over
moves, worst moves,
right? How we're feeling about the rest of the year, kind of things that we made mistakes, things that you can kind of take from, and say, yeah, hey, look, don't do this, don't, especially if you have a league where the whole premise is okay, wherever you end is how that draft goes in reverse next year. Like you don't, first of all, don't tank. No one likes that. You're a bitch if you tank for the first round pick. So, hi wife, what's up, baby? How are you? I feel like shit still. You feel like shit too? Show your titties. No? Okay. I tried YouTube. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a big believer because we've done it in Andrew's league for so many years where the last place team gets the first pick. And sure enough, man, you got to week, 12, 11, 12, 13, and people were tanking on purpose. And
well, here's what I
totally just said it's going to be random every year.
Well, here's what I would want to do. So it is a 10-team league at the moment. I would say the bottom four, it doesn't matter where you place, 7, 8, 9, or 10. There'll be a random lottery for those four teams to see who actually gets first. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to be, at the end of the draft, how it normally would. But you can't just tank with the idea that you're going to get the first round pick. There's a lottery.
See, I was trying to implement into Andrew's league the making people want to play for the consies, and the winner of the consies gets the first pick. And it's like, and then whoever's behind the second runner up gets the second pick, and blah, blah, blah. And if you're last of the last, you're gonna at minimum get the 5th or 6th pick, because
that's what we're doing. No, that's right. That's what we're doing in this league now. That is brilliant.
It forces you to play the consies. Like you better play your ass off to get you better earn that first round pick. So it's almost like a second chance reward,
Right. No, that's beautiful. The only problem is we don't have 10 teams coming back. Because Ballers is out. I already locked his team.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I logged this team, and I sent him a message. I'm like, your team's logged. Because it's now been 4 weeks in a row where you haven't touched your roster.
Yeah,
Go
he's
fuck yourself.
scoring 109 and 150s, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you do want to look at your team, I'm not going to give you the opportunity to make yourself a viable opponent for anybody.
That's what I'm saying. He was going to be playing me next week, and I guaranteed you he would have loaded his squad up. Yeah. And that would have been totally unfair. Like, damn, you don't give nobody resistance but me. That's bullshit.
Yeah. I hate people that do that. I can't stand them. They drive me. It is. Don't waste my.
He
fucking
gave
time.
us money, and that you would think somebody, but I guess he got $100 to blow. I mean, like,
yeah, apparently he got it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for your donation. Go fuck yourself.
It ain't even about the money. Like, I mean, don't you enjoy this? Well, I ain't gonna say enjoy because you do have some fucked up weeks. So, but just even in the leagues I'm losing in. I mean, I said I can't go through it emotionally, but guess what happens when Sunday come around or Thursday come around? I'm gonna still set them lineups. Like I told you, I just want take them around the corner. Fuck the shit out. I want you to be a first place team, and I want you to treat me like Cleveland and think that you're gonna walk all over me and I upset the shit out of you. That's what I want to do. That's all I can do because my record has already put me out of it.
Yeah, I will.
The real NFL, like if you're a team, are you really tanking for the first pick? I mean, like some of those teams, they're still them men are out there feeding their families, and they can't show a sign of tank. Fuck the organization. I'm gonna give it my all every Sunday I go out there.
Yeah,
because not just the organization's looking at me. Another organization that might want to bring me in as a free agent is watching me. And if I'm dang on dogging it on certain plays, they're going to see that.
Yeah. And that's why I was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to give you the chance to fix it. You're beat. You're done. Bye. I'm not unlocking your team at all. I don't care what you ask, what you say. It's no. You don't do that. You don't do that for 4 weeks. And like, oh, well, and then, I mean, if you would have messaged and say, hey, look, man, I had COVID or I had this going on, I didn't. Okay, fair enough. But it's been a month.
I mean, he came in not even paying attention. I mean, he auto drafted his team, and it auto drafted him a damn good team, and he just didn't want to work with it at all. So, like I said, once I secured that $100, I was just like, "Hey, you can do what you want."
Yeah.
I mean, long as we ain't in no situation like last year with that bullshit, man. Like certain things not happening correctly. So, oh well.
So, not really too much on the waiver wire. I mean, in a normal league,
out here.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely not in our league. I mean, like in traditional leagues or in leagues that maybe have 10-team leagues, who do you think is the big ticket out there? I think a lot of people are going to go after your Darrell Henderson.
Mm-hmm. I would say Kareem Hunt because I mean, even though he's decently rostered, but
yeah, in a couple of leagues they already snatched him up, but then some leagues he's still there, and yeah. So he might be out there.
I mean, you could maybe take a stab at Kyler. Put him as a stash because he's a coming. So
yeah, and then you said no buys this week, so maybe you can hold him. But then right after this week, it's gonna be buys again, so it's not like really room to save him.
Yeah, but maybe at that point he start.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, it's one of those things where if you have the expendable room, sit him down. See what you got. Get rid of that one player that ain't doing nothing for you that you're just hoping that something's going to happen because Kyler could be something or he could be nothing. But
God damn.
Yeah.
You know what I just thought about?
The fact that I have a Kyler jersey and it hurts me?
No, that week that I'm not going to have either quarterback, I wish that would have been the week I played Ballers because I could have probably somehow pulled it out.
Well, not to be a dick, but you're playing my kids, so that's probably not that far off.
No, I mean, if he put out two quarterbacks, it's going to be damn hard to beat.
Yeah, but his quarterbacks are Russell Wilson, Jimmy G, and uh, some Obi-Wan jabroni. I don't even remember.
Mike can pull it out. I don't know, but
But I mean, not for nothing. I think the kid was doing, okay. Usually your first year you don't do well. It just is what it is. You draft
I
poorly.
mean, everybody is. At least nobody is sitting there with an
Yeah,
offer. Yeah, I
right.
mean, that's pretty bad. But no
Yeah.
matter what you do, it's just because there's a guy in Andrews League that's like that. He's in there 0-7. I play him this week, and I'm like, this dude beat me. I swear to goodness. But yeah, he's like a diehard too, so I know he going through it. It's like painful. I know
Yeah.
it. But he just drafted ridiculous. Like I don't know what he was thought. I don't know. I was looking at his squad. I'm like, man, you got like one good player on this whole squad. Like the rest are hit or miss, pop off players week to different week to week. Okay, sort of like my squad this year. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm taking a chance, but I don't know. The collaborative effort of jabronis equals one solid player.
I'm excited to see what my team actually like a full blown full, dick hard
Fully staffed.
team. Right. Like I'm gonna put Tank Dell up in there. He's gonna start. Um, it's I another thing we're doing next week is we're gonna kind of pull up our squads that we drafted from week 1 and compare it to what we have now, and it just shows you how much it changes. Like I looked at the transaction numbers. I've made 29. You've made 27.
Oh yeah, we lead the
We
league in those.
always do that every year. But with that being said, this is also why we're always in the playoffs.
How could you? I mean, okay, in those 10-team leaguers, maybe you can get away with minimal transactions, but in this league, until you find the right, it's almost it's. My analogies is goofy.
Here we fucking go.
I
Strap
mean,
in.
it's like there's a dance floor and you have to keep dancing with different partners until you find a nice until if somebody say, hey man, dance with all these women out here and tell me the 10 that you like the most. I gotta keep going out there and dancing. I can't just be like, all right, well, give me them 10 and then sit them to the side. No, I gotta keep dancing and be like, no, not you, you stink. Gotta dance. No, not you, you got a bad tooth. No, not, I mean, you gotta keep dancing with these motherfuckers until you get the proper people that you can fucking run up there every week. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
I'm in the process, even at week 8, I'm still on the dance floor. Look like you sitting down a couple times and you only got to dance 2 or 3 times a week. I got to dance and keep dancing and keep dancing till I find the right people.
I mean, look, I will tell you this. My wide receivers scare the fucking hell out of me. Running out Gabe Davis and JSN. I mean, AJ don't
Gotta
count
have at least one weak spot. So I'm like, if you trade and strengthen up that weak spot, yeah, people are gonna flip.
So, Tank is gonna take up one of those spots. So, but he's probably gonna be in my flex. But
what is the story with Gabe Davis? I'm like, what? I thought you was like he's been supposed to take over the number 2 spot for the past 3 or 4 years now, and
listen,
he just
here's
won't
what
do
Gabe
it.
Davis is. Gabe Davis is that dad that keeps going to the store for milk and cigarettes, and he comes back like once a month. And he like gives that kid like, oh no, I'm back, little Jimmy. It's fine.
I'm about to go to the store, but I'm for real. I'm coming right back. Right. And he do it again. Like you're like, Dad is gone again.
I will tell you this is something I noticed here too, because I didn't watch the game straight up, and I watched it on Red Zone. Oh my fucking Christ, Buffalo needs an offensive line because every single time Josh Allen was back, This man was out here looking like Kenny Pickett running around at the first snap.
Right.
I'm like, oh
It was
my
plenty of times that he called
god.
Hut, and soon as he dropped back, somebody was in his face. I'm like, damn. I'm just surprised, Josh. If Josh wasn't as athletic as he was, he would have looked like Daniel Jones getting sacked out there.
Right.
So Josh's athleticism painted a picture way less worse than it could have been.
Yeah. Now, I mean, mind you, I only watched it on Red Zone, so I don't know how the rest of the game looked, but every fucking time this guy was running for his life. Now, mind you, he can do that, but I'm like, I like my Josh Allen in the pocket getting set. That's how he is productive, but woof.
Yeah.
I mean, a bit of a shocking thing last night. You know, Minnesota beating San Fran. I'm kind of wondering
I thought
if
Minnesota, because it was at home, I thought Minnesota would put up a fight because they
Kirk
were at
Cousins
home.
hates
And,
prime
Cousins
time.
in the prime time, and I was like, they're gonna at least put up a fight, but I didn't think they was gonna win the damn game.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that one.
So
And then 49ers was coming off losing to Cleveland. Like, no, they're not gonna do it, bro.
And
And
we
it
said
just
that,
seemed
yeah,
the
we said
Eagles
that
did
too.
to the Dolphins. I was like, no, they gonna stay up there with the
Right.
Dolphins.
Yeah, we
now,
said that. This was like
now it's like, dang, the two Super Bowl teams. Now it's them dueling because San Fran done dropped off a little bit. So it just proves to me how much they need Debo. I guess there's like the little intangibles that people don't see that Debo probably do and provide for that team. And
yeah, it's
without
called being.
him, and then they lose. They were missing a tackle too, the All-Star Trent Williams or whatever. So,
well, here's the thing. Here's what Debo provides. He's 7'13". All right. So
he said 7'13", which is make him 8'1".
Yeah, you're right. Like the man is a giant being, and he draws
compare
attention.
him to AJ Brown, just like
exactly
built like AJ Brown. But go ahead.
I mean, less. I would say definitely
a little skinnier. AJ Brown is fucking cocky as fuck.
Dude, he is.
Yeah.
I wish he was my dad.
Yeah. I mean, Debo don't look as strong. I mean, he's a little slimmer version, but he still got that dog in him for sure.
Debo is more. It's gonna sound weird. Debo is more athletic than AJ because he's more. No, maybe not athletic. He's more versatile.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see AJ take a.
AJ ain't gonna be dipping in and out of cuts. AJ is one of those. He gonna catch it, and if you get in his way, you are getting run over. He is not trying to dip behind you or cut beyond you or nothing.
Could you imagine seeing AJ taking a fucking a halfback dive up the middle?
Yeah.
Golly.
Some of the defense would be like, man, go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, I think Debo, it's definitely a missed thing. I thought they were going to feed Ayuk a bunch more than they did.
Me too. He only came out with 10 points. It was like, did y'all forget Ayuk was out there? I mean, don't get me wrong. I was loving the Jennings Peppers, but I'm like, did Ayuk just fall off the map in the middle of the game? Or
and you know what's weird to me too? Like San Fran, how do you not run literally C-Mac 2 of the 4 downs that you have every single, just run them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Now I get it. That doesn't help me in fantasy, but I'm just like, from an NFL standpoint, just run them.
Well, I mean, sometimes even the most physical teams get too cute, and I think Shanahan got a little cute, man, and they learned that cuteness ain't bringing wins. And same thing with the Philly losing to the Jets last week. They got a little cute. And whenever the Dolphins gave them a threat and then took that pick 6, they were getting cute at that point. And then when the game was tied 17, every time they was in the jam, it was like, let's put this cute shit down. We got a dog over there, and we gonna feed them. And that's what they did. And they came out victorious. Yeah. So stop trying to be cute. What got you here is being nitty gritty, grimy as fuck. Keep doing it. For 60 minutes every week. Don't like I said, remember before I said, oh yeah, sometimes in Madden you got an opponent that's 1-7, and
Right.
you're gonna play them, so you start trying all these different plays and all of that, and the next thing you know, you look up, this opponent got you up by 10. It's like, damn, what was I doing? Trying to get
Right.
killed. Like, do what brought you there.
Yeah, and as long as you have like a moderately semi okay play action ability with CMAC on your team, you fucking win. Like everyone's just going
I
to
mean,
assume
as long as you feed C-Mac, just the fact that he's sitting back there, your
it's,
play action is
it's
golden.
terrifying. And you know what's crazy? Like I didn't realize this until I heard it. 35 yards was his longest reception like ever for a tutty. I'm like, really?
What? That
Right.
don't make sense.
Right. It doesn't. But apparently it's a thing.
Oh, so he always got him a little short and then just took
Yeah.
him. I
Yeah.
thought he had some long ones in Carolina. Well, he
He
must
may
have
have
had
had
just
some
long
long.
runs,
Right.
no
Yeah.
receptions. Okay.
But I'm
Wow,
just
that's a
like,
weird stat.
it is a weird stat. For him, I'm like, really? How's that? How have you not scored like a 90-yard fucking dump off because you are just you? I don't get it.
Yeah, C-Mac
But
just got that ability where you could see the hole open up, and an average back is going to get 5 yards. C-Mac is going to turn that in 12, maybe 14. It's just like he
yeah,
has a certain different type of ability
he's like a
that
chess
gets
player.
him
He already
through
knows
the
what's
fucking
up.
hole a little bit better and a little bit more smoothly. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. It's like he know how to get skinny in certain spots and then lift up in certain spots. It's like this motherfucker's like a transformer in the hole. Shit.
Well, they were saying like he is like the most intense person in practice. Like intense. Like he does not want to hear good job. He does not want to hear he is like he's that guy. So you ever see that meme of Derek Carr where he's in Oakland and just like fuck it, I'll do it myself. And he's looking there in this methy ass kind of like demonized. I feel like that's what C-Mac is he's just like always intense. Like he has resting bitch face, but because he's just in that zone.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is just so
Must
fucking
be
and,
real
and look,
Tuesday.
not for nothing. I'm just like a white running back. Let's fucking go. I don't get this opportunity often, so I'm like, hey, here we go.
I mean,
Thank you.
I noticed that about the white skilled players. Period. It might not be too many, but the ones that are out there, they damn near is the best at their position. Like
Oh,
Cup,
like fucking gotta be shit.
I
I
mean, like
mean,
they go all
yeah.
in. Like there ain't no lazy
And that's by the way,
white
that's who I
skilled
was.
players.
Okay, let me ask you this: would you take this trade, Austin Eckler for Cooper Kupp?
I think the person that's getting Austin Eckler is getting screwed.
Okay, that was the trade I was going to do with Will. By the way, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking about, but I'm like, nah, I
You
can't.
can't do that. No.
Uh-uh.
Like I
But
told
could
you, you
you
made too
imagine?
many trades.
Jesus.
Shit would have
Oh.
exploded. And if I'd have fucking if Kemp would have somehow found out, oh, that's his son. That's how he got kicked out of Andrews League because he was, oh, Andrews cheating. He's doing it. Oh, he would have went ham sandwich.
Mm.
I don't know about Bob. I think the only people that would know is me and Bob.
Yeah.
Like, who
Well,
else would
here's the
know that
thing.
he was
I couldn't do that, and I would feel too guilty because it's like, obviously, I know I'm going to come out better with that because you don't offer a trade with the idea of giving someone else something better
Well, I mean,
than what you're getting back.
You're getting Cup, and on top of that, it's just that most people will say, "Oh, Eckler's great," but like you have expendable backs, but it's like
Yeah.
your only weakness. Every team, I don't care how strong you may have, you made some great trades, but every team has to have a small Achilles heel,
Right.
and
You got to
would have
give
been
stuff to get stuff.
impenetrable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of like a cheat move. So it's just like, man, I will not do it. Now, if you can find somebody else in the league to give you a monster receiver, you can get
Oh,
Timmy to
yeah.
give you Chase or something. Yeah, go ahead. But with your son, yeah, that just ain't going. That ain't gonna fly.
At least not this year. maybe a few years down the road where he gets his
Where he
bearings
gets a
about him.
little bit more familiar with what's going on and know when to say no and when to say yes. I mean, like I even seen when we was drafting. Some of the people he drafted, he didn't know what was fully going on. It's like,
Yeah.
what? You
Which
drafted
is to
him?
be expected. Yeah, to be
Yeah.
expected. And
Yeah, my one boy I brought Manny, and he took Gronkowski #1 overall.
listen, I remember that shit. It's funny because
But
when you
you
were
just don't
saying,
know when you're coming in. I mean,
Well, it's funny because when you said when you did the whoever was in the other league, the 0-7 guy he drafted all sketchy, I immediately thought of Manny. I'm like, motherfucker, is he in there too drafting Gronk and fucking Cam Newton and
and
shit?
that wasn't even Patriots Gronk. It was Buccaneers Gronk, and we drafted him first overall that year. I was
And
like,
this motherfucker was trying to dunk on. It's like I fucking told you. I'm like, what did you tell us? If you don't know what the fuck you're doing, shut up.
he said, "I told y'all."
I'm just like, shut up and eat your wings. Like,
He was like, "Justin Tucker now, first pick." I'm like, okay. He's like, "Man, I'm gonna kick 3 on y'all when there ain't even no scores even happen." He thought he can just get points and shit off the fantasy without the players really doing it. He thought he,
it's when you
he was
look at it, it's
playing.
like you realize we don't even have kickers in the squad, right?
Like you realize that it's not even a position.
Right. It's like, motherfucker, we're playing fantasy baseball. What are you doing? I don't fucking
Oh man, he took fucking Gronkowski first overall. Oh, damn.
Damn, yeah, he got steamrolled that year.
Yeah, yeah, super steamroll.
So no buys this week. That's fine. Who's our Thursday game? Looks like it's what, Buffalo and
Tampa. Speaking of Tampa, that ain't bad.
accidental.
That ain't bad. Oh, here I am echoing again on your
I'm
thing. I think
outside.
when you go outside,
Yeah.
yeah, I echo.
I gotta get my job out here to fix my fucking internet.
So let's run through the eligibles real quick. Any
I mean,
injuries?
Baker got a knee, but it's probably just maintenance.
Usually, that's one thing. Like injuries to quarterbacks is totally different from injuries to any other player. Like a quarterback, you almost got to be halfway dead to not start.
Like Garoppolo.
Yeah. Or
Like,
unless
how the
you're
fuck you get internal back injuries? Like, that shit sounds terrible.
Mr. Thumb Oven. You see, these motherfuckers paid him Deshaun Watson all this money, and he is
Look, I
not
played him
only is
last.
he shitty while he playing, he ain't even playing. So it's like,
Look,
wow.
my opponent made a mistake. Like, he was forced to, play either Ritter or Deshaun. He had to drop somebody, and he dropped Ritter and played Deshaun, and Deshaun put him
Negative 30. Negative
negative.
30. Point 30.
Yeah, point there. I'm like, damn, like, jeez.
You almost wanted to tell him, like, hey, man, go ahead, put in Ritter, man. We'll let you get away.
Well, until Sunday night hit, I'm like, thank God. Then after Sunday night hit, I'm like, you can play Jesus Christ if you want. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, because for a minute, I think well, I ain't gonna say you had a scare, but just none of your players had played, and you were like down by like 100, like 150. I was like, damn.
I only had 2 people in the early window. I had
Mm.
Mark Andrews and fucking Gabe, I think, and y'all know how that went.
Yeah, Mark Andrews went ham sandwich.
But then I basically had my subsidiary players, excluding Eckler, come in at night or come in at 4. And they didn't do really anything. So I was like, okay.
That Monday night let you know you had it in the bag either way because Addison crushed. But
Well, I mean,
you
Sunday
already
night, I
got
was
it
like,
from. You
I
already
was
got it
down.
from. What was you down by like 10 going into that Monday night?
I was down by 13, and he was starting Jordan Mason. I'm like, Oopsie doozles on your side there, friend.
He said, "Oopsie doozles."
And then
My thing was, if I would have lost, I would have been. This broadcast would have been so different because not only had I lost 4 in a row, you see some of the players that were productive on his squad. Gardner Minshew dropped 60. Marquez Valdez Scantling, who can't even spell 2 points, dropped like 28 points. I'm like,
and it's funny because you name dropped him on the episode, and I'm like, this motherfucker put that. You sure did, because I was talking about me signing Hardman, and you're like, he's his MVS part 2.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
That was another thing I noticed on his team was, okay, I got Patrick, and he layered in all Chiefs. He had Tony, Valdez, Scantling. Who else? He had another.
That's a con.
receiver.
That's a con. Was it? No, it wasn't.
It was.
Was it Rice?
You got Nicole Hartman.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Rice. It was.
And I know Justin Watson. He's on waivers. So, do they have another receiver? Shit, I don't know.
Maybe I'm exaggerating, but hold on. I could have swore he had multiple Chiefs, and I'm sitting up here like, dang, yo.
See, that's the mistake people.
Anybody is going to be one of his players.
That's what you never want to do, man. You never want to like try to eat into someone else's, quarterback play, because it's like, I get it, but understand.
Yeah, Tony that gave him 2.8. Scott Moore, he had.
Oh, okay.
Scott Moore only gave him 4, and then Valdez Scantling gave him 28. That's why I was like, damn, he had like the whole Chiefs receiving core trying to eat into Mahomes,
and
he got lucky on one.
Because here's the thing, like, people always forget, like, oh, I'm going to eat into him. And it's like, yeah, you are, but understand you're getting a fraction of the points. Like, your opponent's still getting that play. It's the dumbest idea, and people make that all the time. I mean, it is what it is. But all right, so let's go back to the eligibles here.
I was like, dang, maybe he didn't. Yeah, we pulled one of those. We didn't even know Dallas was even there. So,
well, it's because it's the Kelsey show, and everyone else doesn't matter. Once they got rid of Hill, it's like
the Ray Rice dude is emerging. That's why you're starting to see Bob's team emerge. Like, Bob was I ain't gonna say he was a joke, but he wasn't top tier team. But
he was struggling. And I actually was talking to him.
Hunt, and now Ray Rice. I mean, his team is starting to stack.
Yeah, and I was talking to him actually this week. He's like, my team sucks. I'm like, nah, Bob, it doesn't.
It's coming about. It's coming around that mountain when she comes.
Yeah, he's in third. He's in third place now.
Yeah, his team is coming around that mountain.
So, all right, let's go back to the eligibles here. Obviously, Mike Evans, auto start.
Godwin ain't having a great year, but you can't sit him down.
Godwin popped up on the injury report with a neck, I believe. So we'll see how that goes, because that's a lot different than having like a knee, like a neck. That's like, ooh.
You want to just leave that, let that rest for almost 2 weeks before you even touch it. Yeah.
Yeah, because that goes from like, okay, this is let's see if we can win this week, or if you can walk later. Like that's. So I don't know.
That propels, I guess, Timmy's pick. You better watch out. I mean, well, you sure don't have to watch out, but I'm just saying, that Kimbrell Tompkins or something. Like,
the guy that we don't know the name of.
It just gives him a little bit more targets, but he ain't gonna do nothing crazy.
No. Fuck Timmy and everything he stands for. Like, literally, my text to him this morning was like, "Hey, you tubby bitch, I owe you a raping." So, but you can start the white guy. That's funny. The white guy that's actually a black guy, the running back, or is it no?
Oh, white, Rashad White, yeah.
Start the white guy. That's not really a white guy. I mean, if you want to.
You can't sit him down. Like it's certain players. It's like, are you really going to sit him down? Like in our league, like I mean, like you think I like starting Jerry Jeudy? But then you look at the rest of my dang on squad, I can't sit him down. I mean, I have to take whatever he's given. Like
it's very, very hard to start to sit a starter like that. That is the hardest thing to do.
Maybe you could sit down a third wide receiver, but if you are the bona fide one or two, it's hard to sit you down. Like you got to really have some faith that they are not going to produce, or they are simply injured. So,
yeah. So that's Tampa Bay. Whatever. Not exciting.
Oh, thing we didn't talk about. I know you rubbing your balls like a lamp, but
wait, what?
I know you rubbing your balls like a lamp on this pick, but
okay.
I did not know Addison. Remember we had this conversation? Is he ready to step up there with the number ones?
You're sure goddamn right he is.
You fucking right he is. God damn, I just thought he was too small physically,
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean he is not a large fella, but when he
that
just
was against San Fran, so if he can do it against that physical ass defense, he can do it against anybody.
And please understand, I was rubbing my balls again once he had that little injury scare. I'm like, oh my god, no, don't. I've been okay this year on injuries. Don't do this. Thank God it was cramps and he came back. I'm like, oh god, they gave him some Midol and he came back in and everything was fine.
I was thinking the same thing with Hawkinson when he went down and the coach told him to go down. I was like, oh, please tell me he ain't hurt.
And then he went down again.
Yeah, because his foot or something might rolled on his foot. I'm like, oh my gosh. But he came
back. I felt for you too. I was like, this motherfucker had to kick all the puppies when he was younger. Like,
and they all getting back at me. Yeah.
Right, I'm just like,
puppy spirits and shit. Something. Yeah. Everybody's getting hurt. But for one quick second, I ain't gonna even lie, because said when it comes to this shit, it's like, fuck you. When Addison went down, I was like, Powell becomes the number one.
Yeah. That's how you got. Look, that's how you have to think. That's how you.
I was just like, damn, Powell just got a lot more valuable.
I mean, because at that point,
I think he just showed the world his value a little bit more anyway. Because had I not grabbed him or had him, I ain't gonna say that everybody, because everybody don't watch and they're not as passionate and they're not as up to speed as me and you. But it'd have been a race between me and you to pick him up for sure.
Yeah.
If I didn't already have them.
Well, see, I don't know, because
you don't want two players from the same roster necessarily.
Well, that and I think Osborne gets the bump.
Well, Osborne, he does get the bump. I mean, and Powell is the third wide receiver, but Osborne still got that inconsistency, the drops a daisy type of shit.
Yeah, but you know what? I think he becomes the third wideout, because I think at that point Hawkinson then goes to number 2. Because right now Hawk is probably number 3 with Addison on there. Well,
you still talk about Justin Jefferson. I'm talking about post Jefferson.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like with him being hurt, like I'm saying. Oh, you mean after? Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
I mean, Addison is 1, and then Hawkinson is 2, and then the third is probably KJ. Yeah. And then, but what's the name does a little bit more. He's just like one of those. He's what's the one more dude's name? Rondale Moore. Like there's certain like the little scat receivers that do more than just your average. Just
we don't say his name on this podcast because
we ain't allowed to say Rondale Moore.
Nah, he's like my love affair, and I purposefully had Will pick him up because I don't want to see him on the waiver wire everywhere.
Oh, so you said pick him up so I don't get tempted to.
Well, it was because he needed some help, but I was also like, yeah, out of sight, out of mind. I don't want to. You can't hurt me anymore
if I don't see you.
Right. It's like my fantasy football.
If you don't call him over for that late night creep, then he can't beat your ass and skate away.
Pretty much, but God, I fucking love that guy. It just his skill, he just oozes skill, and I just wish he could find a way to fucking utilize him because that dude is so
That's
fucking
another thing I
talented.
wanted to talk about. Remember on this broadcast we were talking about how good Josh Dobbs had become in the Cardinals
Yeah.
and promising.
Oops.
You turn to the left, you turn to the right, and they are 1-6, and he don't look good at all.
Well, I think they're kind of tanking for the that fella. I can't think of his name. That quarterback that's supposed to be the number
Caleb
one.
Stewart or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of the plan from the jump for them. And the thing is, they
They
don't.
are moving on from Kyler. You think?
Yeah, once you have to put something in a contract. Hey, don't fucking play video games. Look at your fucking playbook. It's a problem. Like,
Yeah.
and it's a
Speaking of the
shame
Cardinals,
because
you see that? What kind of game did the coach play with the whole running back thing? You see the DeMarco? That's why I held on to him one more week. I was like, I can't use my number one waiver and then just drop him the very next week. And all of a sudden was running him out there. I'm like, what? And he sat on my bench and grabbed like 13 points. But I'm like, what the heck?
So I will say this: whenever you have like a no-name guy and you burn your waiver, yeah, you're right. You don't want to just. It's scary to trot him out on the first week unless he has a pedigree. But if he's kind of a no-name, it's one of those like stash things. Unless it's like
It's almost like my pride was like, you.
Yeah.
If you burned your number one, you better not drop him. And I just
because look, understand. Like I'm seriously thinking about burning my waiver on Pierre Strong.
oh really?
No, I'm not because I'm not fucking retarded.
I was just thinking about something like, go ahead, do that.
Right. But that's a mistake people make. They're like, oh yeah, he got to bump up. I'm like, you're gonna burn your number one priority, pick up on a backup running back. Okay, do that. Dummy.
That's okay. In this league, that's why I didn't mind burning my one for Jaleel McLaughlin because we're gonna cycle right back around because the dumb motherfuckers in this league is gonna keep doing it, burning their waiver priorities for ninth tier players, and it's like, okay, bump me right back up. I think I'm like fourth or fifth now. Okay.
No, you're 10th. You're 10th.
Oh yeah, because I just did the McLaughlin, but after this week, watch me move up to at least 5.
You'll be like fourth or fifth. Yeah, you'll be middle of the pack.
Watch.
I mean, I have a few people I'm eyeing at 3 a.m. I mean, I'm not going to be up because I'm like fucking dying inside, but I'm quite sure they'll be available when I wake up at 6. So, oh yeah, let's go to the other people in the game on Thursday. Then we'll get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. So we already went through Tampa Bay.
Okay. Buffalo.
I mean, obviously, Diggs, obviously Allen. You can close your eyes and squint real hard and hope that Gabe Davis tumbles into something. But
there's the classic example. Can you sit Gabe Davis down?
No.
I mean, no matter he gave you a shitty ass 3 points last week, but can you really sit him
this
down?
league? No. In a normal
Not in this league. That's what I'm saying.
In a normal league, he'd be on waivers. Honestly, I think you could actually start.
Waivers. He will be on people's bench, but not waivers. Ain't nobody going as far as to cut him. Not yet.
Well, maybe not yet. If he has another bad game, he'll be on waivers because he had that.
I think when you have 2 or 3 weeks of bad weeks, and unless you're a monster player, they will cut you. Especially in a 10 team, they will cut you.
I think you can actually start Latavius and James Cook. Because I believe the snap share is about 50-50 still at this point. So Latavius really like loves ball
70-30. I mean, Cook is getting about 70%. I mean, when they get close to the goal line, they get in the red zone. Yeah, Latavius becomes way more prevalent. But as far as just in the middle of the field,
I thought it was 50-50 last week.
No, Cook he's still getting the majority of those. But when they get the closer they get to the end zone, they start feeding Latavius.
which is weird to me. I mean,
And
it
then I
just
think Latavius probably got a little bit more better pass protection. So you might
yeah.
see him in there in the middle of the field on, a third down and a jillion to go.
Some of
Yeah.
his snaps are blocking and not
Just
really
pass
for.
pro. Yeah,
Yeah,
pass
gotcha.
pro.
I mean, I still think you can put him out there. You're looking at a not a high ceiling, but a decent enough floor. If you're just looking for a consistent kind of 8, 9 points, okay. I mean, in this league, I mean, probably in a regular league, you're getting like 4 or 5. But
Yeah.
this
I mean,
one,
they
you
feed him
do.
at the goal line, and on top of that, they'll even throw him a pass here and there. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
I mean, and realistically, like if he goes like 5 for 20 and a tutty, that's 10 points. Like that is not an amazing day, but it's going to be what he's projected to get, and I'm
I
okay
mean,
with
like,
that.
what did you give up to get him? Like, you just simply picked him up off the wire, and
Yeah,
if like I told you, if you need a body to stand in there and get 10 points, that's all you need.
yeah. And I mean, I've yet to actually start him this year. I think I've had him since like week 2. Yet to start him, but this may be the week where I do it. So we'll see.
Five
But
particulars this week. What are you missing? You said
um,
nobody's on the buy.
so all right, let me just run through this real quick here.
Okay.
So, oh, Jesus. All right. So what I have on the I am picking somebody up, but right now on my bench I have Charbonnet, Hardman, Higbee, Gino, and Royce Freeman. I could probably cut Freeman,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to
No,
because
Brady was pretty productive, even as
he was.
Henderson. He had like 6 carries or 60 something yards or something like that.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't bad. I mean he definitely over exceeded his expectations, and I'm still not sold on exactly how this whole thing is going to shake out.
They're talking about they're still trying to get that kid. He didn't even get a snap. I'm like,
Yeah, I love
damn.
it. I love it so much. It made me happy, and just because it's like everyone burnt their priority, I'm like, okay. And then I picked this guy up for like fucking. I actually think I picked him up for Dawson Knox, so that's
You
pretty
picked him
funny.
up immediately. I mean, not immediately. You picked him up like last minute because I remember you texting was like Rams in the flex or some shit. You said,
Last week I literally had my 3 flex positions were Higbee, Henderson, and Royce Freeman.
yeah. I
I was in
mean,
straight fuck
I know the
Steelers
Steelers
mode.
defense isn't great against the run, but they're not terrible either. So I knew you were. I mean, I didn't. I knew they wasn't gonna go ham sandwich on the Steelers. Maybe another team, you can probably get that production, but
Yeah, but I was just
Steelers
looking
definitely aren't your
for a
dad's
floor.
Steelers.
Yeah, I was just looking for a floor,
Yeah.
and I got it. But yeah, I mean the usual suspects. I mean you can add in Murray if you want, but I don't know. I mean this seems like it's going to be just a not a fun game to watch, but since I have people playing, I will watch it. But I'm not excited over it.
I don't know. I think it's a better game to me, considering
Yeah,
how the other Thursday nights games been. It just
yeah.
seemed like better opponents with better records and more to play for. But
I think I'd feel better if Allen was playing like Allen. If
he's not.
Buffalo was playing like Buffalo, I think I'd be more like, oh, okay, let's go. Let's all right. But
How
I'm
do
just
you
like,
lose to a team that got blown out at home 34 to nothing by the Saints? The
because
sorry ass Saints. Like I don't.
divisional. That's exactly why.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, records throw them out.
It's the weirdest. It's
And
the
we
weirdest
called
thing in
that
sports.
Giants and then that Washington game. Remember, I was like, this is gonna be like a 14-10, 14-7 game, and it sure as hell was 14-7.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, like a lot of the early games we thought they were going to be piss poor actually ended up being like, oh, these are entertaining.
I definitely
That's
didn't see Baltimore fucking blowing the brakes off of fucking Detroit. I didn't see that one.
yeah. And they
I,
play Monday. Detroit plays Monday night, and I am very excited to play golf. I'm just like,
Oh, you
he
know he's
is
gonna come out fire, and it's against the Raiders. Oh yeah, they're gonna put the brake shoes on them motherfuckers for sure.
very excited. And I tried actually to this week. I tried to dish Eckler for the Sun God, and nothing happened with that one.
Who has the Sun God?
Uh, fucking daddy. Oh, that sounded weird. Yeah, the dude, the guy that I beat this week.
That's what I got to play this week. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, his squad ain't fucking for the faint at heart. So
No. That's why I was like, this is a scary matchup, and I'm like, thanks, Deshaun, you fucking goof, because now he's gonna have Herbert and Burrow in for you because I got to duck the Burrow
you
situation.
got Deshaun. Okay. Damn.
So now you got Burrow and Herbert to deal with. So have
I'm
fucking
worried
fun.
about the quarterbacks. I'm just worried about the supporting cast, and his is probably way stronger than mine. So gotta hope for another miracle for one of these players, and not no Debo.
Yeah.
Man, I need another good Deontay Foreman game.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily count on that, but
No. Hey, play it out.
sucks to be you, kid. Or I'm sorry, sucks to be you, Buttercup. But yeah, that's about it. Tomorrow, the X's and O's of life. I got a few topics I'm going to go over. Y'all want to tune in? I would appreciate it. I want to kind of talk about outsourcers. Yeah, I have two different thoughts about it. One of them is fuck you and everything about you. The other part is kind of like, yeah, you know what? You're necessary because you're much nicer than us on this side of the pond. But yeah, I had something else I want to talk about, but I am so stoned from Tussin that it's hard to think thoughts.
Yeah.
So I will probably wake up at 4 in the morning and text you and be like, "Hey, do the thing. What's the thing?" I believe tomorrow is the monster draft. Yeah.
Right before
No.
Thanksgiving. I mean, I
Oh
said
shit.
Thanksgiving.
It's
Halloween.
all right. You're stupid. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
He said, "You're stupid. It's fine."
Because I just rolled with it. I'm like, yup, exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? No,
Like
Halloween.
right now, I can smell colors, so it's fine.
So yeah, that's another thing that why we waited till for the season cap review, because the NFL trade deadline
Yeah.
is Halloween. So some of us could be in a different place as far as
And that's on a Tuesday.
got to
Yeah.
deal with a different team. So
Is that Tuesday?
Huh?
Is that Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! We record that night, so we'll have all the fresh content.
Fresh content with the fresh candy.
Oh, diabetes.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun. All right. Well, I'm gonna go not be a person for a little bit. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. If not, we'll see you Saturday on the preview show of week 8, like the full preview show. So yeah, that's really all I got.
Yep, that is all I have as well. Good luck, everybody. Well, we're going to see you before.
Yeah.
So, good luck to anybody that's playing Thursday.
Unless I was gonna say unless you're rolling out Diggs and Allen, you're just kind of like, yeah, let's see if I can get 10 points and call it a day.
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls, go fornicate yourselves with a rod.
He said fornicate yourselves.
Yep. I keep it classy in this bitch.